have Mr. Butch Reynolds, who's here to have lunch with us and talk about his journey. For those of you who are not familiar or not know, he is, of course, a track Olympian from my era, which was not that long ago. I remember following his journey because I was a high school student, also a track athlete myself. So he was very instrumental in that motivation because he was a local athlete from Akron. So that makes him special to us, not only because he was excellent at his craft, but also because he was from Akron, somewhere close to where I grew up, as a matter of fact. Additionally, he is an Ohio State alum, so that also makes him double special, keeping his talent and his track abilities in our state. I want you to welcome him. I want you to know that his legacy extends not just from the late 80s, but also currently, because he continues to work at his craft by encouraging and coaching young athletes. He is currently a college coach, and he will share his journey, the things that he wants to talk to us about in terms of the struggles, the pitfalls, as well as the great things that he's been able to accomplish. Currently, again, he's a college coach, and he also coaches athletes in how to reach their full potential and speed. So I know I didn't cover everything, but I want him to be able to talk to you guys about his journey and all the things that make him special. So please welcome Mr. Butch Reynolds.
Yeah, my name is Harry Butch Reynolds, and I am a three-time Olympian, okay? And I want to kind of come in here today and talk a little bit about, of course, my history, Black history, and your history. And most importantly, why it's so important to you to understand your history and what you're trying to develop in this world and what you're trying to give back. Because we do feel like that it takes one to know one to teach one. And when I say that, I mean this. I sat there as well, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade as well. And one thing I realized in achieving what I have achieved in success and the hurdles and the obstacles that came in my way is that sometimes, they both go hand in hand, okay? Success and those adversities goes hand in hand. And when I say it goes hand in hand, what are we learning from it? Okay, so yes, setting the world record, winning an Olympic gold medal, having my own set of adversities, I try to find what's common in both. And then I can come back and teach you guys what I didn't know in high school that helps you move forward. Because I think that the more information that you know in high school, the better off you would be. The more information I felt I knew in high school, the better off my career have been. Now, when I say this, let me start off again by showing you why it's so important to have a goal. Okay? Why is it so important to have a goal? And have a goal that every day you do something towards that goal to achieve that goal. Now, why is it so important? Because you guys know you had your own adversity so far pretty much too. When the wind blows, which the wind's gonna blow, you're gonna have your ups and downs. How do you move ahead? How do you get through those obstacles? How do you get through those hurdles? How do you keep jumping and keep moving along? Well, first thing you have to do, you have to start off with a goal. You gotta know what you wanna do. Well, my goal was to be the fastest man in the world. That was my goal. And I knew that I had the talent, I had the mindset, but do I have the discipline? Do I have the commitment? And do I know how to sacrifice in order to achieve those goals? Now, I didn't know that in high school. I didn't understand that concept in high school. So I'm gonna share this with you guys now so that you can actually set that goal for yourself. One, and two, know where you wanna go. So when it's all over, said and done today, and before we get out of here, there's a few things that I definitely think that you will catch from this. The motivation, the focus, but last but not least, what I call my three: my determination, my commitment, and my sacrifice. So right now, I'm gonna show you a video that was one of the best days of my life. I was 24 years old, and I thought that this world was designed just for me at that time of my career and that time in my life. So this was the highest high that I have ever spent or felt in my life right now was this one of these days right here, in achieving that goal, I should say. So this is in Zurich, Switzerland. This is a month before the Olympic Games, okay? I already ran the Olympic trials. I already made the Olympic team. I ran the first 43-point quarter mile in the world, in the U.S., a month before this day right here. And then a month after that was the Olympic Games that I will share with you guys a story on that one. But without further ado, the 1988.
6'3", he brings Steve Lewis with him, the 19-year-old, and Danny Everett will be third. And look at that! He's done it! The world record is his at Steve Reynolds, and he's murdered it. He's taken it apart, and justice has been done at last. The fastest man in the world at altitude or sea level, 43.30.
Once again, you guys, that was a 1988 meet in Zurich, Switzerland, when I was blessed to be able to be the fastest man in the world. That was my goal. Okay, let me tell you how it started. In 1984, I went to Olympic trials. My coach told me after that, he said, Butch, you can break the world record. And that wasn't my goal at first. Okay, my goal was to maybe to go to NFL, play in the NFL, play football, and just be a student athlete at that time. But in my high school, we were like 6-15 basketball and 1-9 in football. But in track and field, I was undefeated in the 400 meters, I was undefeated in the 200, I was undefeated in the long jump. So I said, you know what? I wasn't blessed at the time to go to a four-year school like a D1, so I went to a junior college. Now, reason being is because I didn't know how serious it was in my 9th and 10th grade year. So I put a little hole for myself at that time. So in order for me to get out that hole, I had to, get to studying, go to class, do my homework, which is very important to have that mindset to do that. But after I left the junior college, that's when I had that mindset to do it. And I did go to Ohio State and got a few three-point grade point averages. But yet still, I graduated from The Ohio State University, okay, as a student athlete. Now, that was another goal for myself, but the goal that I put on my bedroom wall and the goal that I put in my dorm room was Harry Butch Reynolds' 43.86 seconds world record. Now, every day when I was in college, I looked at that goal. Every night, every morning, when I didn't have a good day, I looked at that goal still. Okay? So now what you saw there was a goal that came true that I lived my life for. So whatever I did when I got to college, I said, now, will this help me achieve this goal? What you do, will it help you achieve your goal? So what I'm gonna encourage everybody here to do now is think of your goal. What goals do you have in your mind? What goals you have in your heart that you wanna do? Now, if I go around and ask, what is your goal? Because I'm going to do that. So be thinking now, what is my goal in life? What do I want to achieve? And why is it so important to me to achieve that goal? I don't need you to answer that question yet, but I want you to tell me your goals, because what's going to happen? If you don't have one now, you will. And it might change a few times, but you're going to start thinking with the mindset that we want you to think with. And that is, know your direction, know what you want to go, know what you want to do. Because all friends might not have the same goal, but you will understand what your friends want to do and what you want to do as well. And then you can say, with this, what I just said today, what I'm doing tonight, will it help me achieve my goal? Let's start off. What's your goal?
My goal is to be a millionaire.
A millionaire. WNBA? Mortician. A nurse? A lawyer? Graduate high school. Astronaut. Okay. Football player. Pediatrician. NBA? NFL. A nurse? Olympics. Nurse. NBA. Oh, okay. Oh, these are, I'm sorry. All right, so we have some good goals already there, okay? Oh, I'm sorry, I thought they was all together. I'm sorry, you guys. Go to college. Millionaire. Okay, good. Now, those are great goals. Even the millionaires are great goals because you know, trying to be a millionaire is a lot of hard work as well. A lot of discipline, a lot of sacrifice, what goes into that as well. So it's up to you now to start achieving those goals and start thinking about what it's going to do to help me achieve that. Now, in 1988, we talked about I was the favorite to win the gold medal, okay? When I was the favorite to win the gold medal, I didn't think that it was going to take, for some reason, a gold medal race or for me to do my best to win a gold medal because I knew my best was the best by 10 yards. So I felt like I can go in there and do what? Do half of it. Instead of beating them by 10 yards, I beat them by 5 yards, okay? Instantly, I wasn't nervous anymore. Instantly, I was ready to what? To try to achieve to be a gold medal winner. But when I told myself, you know, Butch, you don't have to beat them by 10 yards. You can beat them by 5 yards today. That put everything down for me. So when the gun went off, I found myself in 6th place. And you guys know that 6th place, did you get a medal for 6th place?
No.
What medals you get? 3rd place is what?
Bronze.
2nd place is what?
Silver.
And 1st is what?
Gold.
Gold. 6th place, you're not even a medal. So here I am a month before, beating everybody by 10 yards. So now I'm in the Olympic game finals, and I'm in 6th place. I'm about 150 yards behind. So I go from 6th to 5th. When I realized this, I go from 6th to 5th, 5th to 4th, 4th to 3rd, 3rd to 2nd, photo finish. I missed the gold medal by 0.06 seconds. Now, it took me all the way to the Olympic Games to realize what lesson I'm learning from that. Once again, in adversity, it's always a lesson. And the lesson could be a seed laid for equal or greater opportunity. It's up to your mindset. Now, I could have took that silver medal, maybe stormed off the track, maybe got in an altercation with the guy who won the gold medal, but I had to accept what I did because I know I did it to myself. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that the silver medal was bad at all, but my mindset was to go in there to get gold. Like your mindset to do what you want to do right now, I am not going to be denied that opportunity. So when I won the silver medal in the 1988 Olympics, okay, believe me when I say it's over 29 years old right now, okay, 24 years old per se, and I still have it. But when I look at it, it tells me one thing, and that one thing is to Harry Butch Reynolds, from this day forward, always give it your best. So I will challenge you guys, from this day forward, learn a lesson. Sometimes people go through lessons to come back to share so you won't have to learn that same lesson. Don't take nothing for granted. Do your best every day. Make it a habit of doing your best. And you'll see the big difference as you move forward and towards your goal. Now, once again, I said this was my first Olympic race. I qualified not just in the 400, but I also qualified in the 4x400 meter relay. So now I'm looking for what? My team. I'm developing my team now, okay? Team is very important. Who's on your team? Who is on your team to help you achieve those type of goals? I knew that going to the 4x400 meter relay, I needed 3 strong individuals that can run fast. And the way we qualify for Olympic Games, we qualify the first 4 that comes over the line will represent the USA in the 4x400 meter relay. So I was blessed to have 3 more very talented young men running with me that day. That was my team. Okay, so understand, when I looked at team now, you're going to develop a team for yourself. Who do you want on your team? Who do you want on your team? Sometimes parents are good. Sometimes parents is not good. Sometimes principals and sometimes superintendents, sometimes people amongst your school system are good. You got to pick the ones who's motivating you in your school system, pick the ones that's helping you, and get a relationship with that person to help you stay on the right track and help you open some doors for yourself that maybe you can't open up on your own. You do not want the same person that you're doing. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? I don't do this right. I don't do this right. Maybe I do this. Maybe I do that. You don't want the same person doing the things that you know that's not right with you as part of your team. Because that's a habit you're trying to get away from. That's a habit you're trying to break. So in 1988, again, going into the Olympic Games, you saw the first medal was a silver. And a lesson learned from that was what? To do my best. Now I'm going into the Olympic Games again 2 days later, and I'm doing my best. Because I learned that lesson 2 days ago. Now I got to realize how important my team is. So, long story short, my team did well. They did awesome, I should say. First guy gave me about a 10-yard lead. Second guy gave us about a 15-yard lead. Make a long story short, when I got the stick, I had about a 25-yard lead in the 4x400 meter relay. When I crossed that tape, remember, my mindset was to do my best now. We had over a 100-yard lead, and we ended up winning the gold medal and tying the world record to the 100th of a second that day. And this is the 1988 gold medal from the Seoul, Korea in the Olympics, okay? Now, when I look at this, I look at now the hard work, the dedication, the commitment, staying focused, having a positive mindset is paying off, okay? Before, I didn't understand the positive mindset. Before, I thought that in 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade, that was it. I couldn't see the future the way I could after I won the gold medal and the silver medal, okay? 4 years after college, 4 years after high school, I should say. If I had that mindset in high school, I've been much farther along, period. Okay? So think about this and think about this as you guys move forward. If I leave right now, if I sit down right now, I want you to know these two things right here. Always do my best, never give up, and get a good team for yourself. Okay? Now, because of this, I was able to come up with what I consider my 10 life lessons that I'm going to share with you guys today too. And then I want you guys to tell me which one you want me to kind of elaborate more on, what you feel when you read it, touch you in a way that you feel like, okay, let me see something here. Let me see why he said this, or let me see why he said that. Because I'm going to ask you, what do you feel?
Just as he mentioned, there's some barriers in life. I call them sometimes speed bumps. And I have a saying that, life has speed bumps, but the goal is not to tear your car. So what we try to do is give you the necessary tools, resource, support, encouragement, motivation, skills, examples, role modeling to help you get through those speed bumps. And that includes accessing successful Americans like Mr. Reynolds here, who has seen the world. So you're actually in the presence of someone that has been around the planet Earth, and that's something that I don't want to take lightly because it's from similar areas of you, from Ohio, and you are now in the presence of not only just a Olympic gold medalist, but someone that has seen outside of what we call just our neighborhood, our blocks, our community. He's been around the planet Earth, so he has a lot that he can share. Hopefully we can continue this relationship and this engagement so he can help you along your journey. And I think this is very important because it's Black History Month. So all of our famous and those that came before us, from ancestry to history, are not necessarily always those that we look back in time. Here we have someone that within the last 15 or so years is a historian and a part of our history and a part of American history. So that's something I also want you to take, because this month in particular is one month that we celebrate. It's a celebration actually all year, but we identified this month is when we want to bring and make sure that you have a good grasp of heritage and how academically and socially and that helps you out. So hopefully this was uplifting to you. Hopefully it's something you can take back and to your peers and share what you heard. Do your research on Mr. Reynolds, and hopefully you can engage before you leave, ask some questions. That's one thing about this program. The students will promise to tell you we meet a lot of people, but it's not enough just to meet. You got to stay in touch. You got to stay engaged, because everybody needs that uplift.
That's somebody who you guys got to stay in contact. Okay, work with him. Okay, he can open up a lot of those doors for you. He can help you get in school. He can help write those letters for you to be accepted. Okay, write letters for you so you can get that scholarship. Write letters for you so you can get that grant. It's all up to you at the end of the day, how you use your resources, how you use the people who's in front of you. Okay, that's very important. You understand how to develop what? That team. Now, another word that I like to use a lot is called transition. We all have transitions in life. These kids are leaving right now for a transition. They got another appointment they got to go to, okay? But they came in here to get as much as they could before they had to go to another assignment. So we wish them well, we wish them safety in their travels. But we're talking about transition. Now, in 1988, I was a gold medal winner, world record holder. 2 years later, in 1990, they accused me of using antibiotic steroids. Now, in 1990, that was real early in my career. That was real early in this stuff they call steroids was coming out. So unfortunately, sometimes what they say is what people believe. Everybody say, I didn't do it. Everybody say, not me. But now I had to go another step farther, which I'm used to doing anyway, because I had my own adversities. I had an impediment of speech. Okay, every word I say was a stutter word at one time. I had light eyes. So in middle school, elementary school, it wasn't too common to have light eyes. So I was always teased growing up. Okay? I had to repeat a grade growing up because my parents thought that my reading comprehension wasn't as good as it should have been. Okay? So these adversities that I had growing up helped me, believe it or not, in fighting for my life and for my name. Okay? One thing for sure is that everyone has a name. Now, we can say names today and you think negativity. You know, Jeffrey Dahmer, you might think negativity. The person who bombed the World Trade Center, you might think negativity instantly. You want to protect your name. Is one thing you will fight for is the protection of your name. Okay? With the social media right now, protecting your name is challenging. So take all your social media, this is all I'm going to say about that piece, and be very respectful when it comes to who you are and how you want people to see you. It's very important who you are and how you want people to see you, because you want people to see the positive. You want people to see the positive image of you working with kids, working at home, working in your church. Post most of those kind of things. Don't post parties and don't post negativities that my grandfather and my grandmother would be kind of embarrassed or insulted to see. A little quick check. And they feel they'd be embarrassed or insulted to see, I wouldn't post that kind of stuff. Because it will come back and haunt you. And it's between you and another person for a job, or you and another person for a degree. They might go with the other person just because of what you posted versus what they posted. Don't hurt yourself, what I'm trying to say. Okay? Don't hurt yourself. Now, when I say I didn't do it, I didn't have an ideal that I had to go to the highest court in the land. I had to go to the highest court in the land, which was the Supreme Court of the United States. Okay, to prove my innocence. And proving my innocence, I just didn't go to the Supreme Court of the United States, but I won a legal federal court judgment for damaging the name of $27.3 million. Now, today, $27.3 million is a lot of money, but back then, 1990, $27 million given to an athlete was not even heard of back then. It was something brand new. But the ultimate injustice is that everybody said reinstate this athlete, clean this athlete's name up, give this athlete this money, but to this day, I never received a penny of that money. Okay? So one would say, you know, well, why? Well, what happened? Well, this is what we talked about, those speed bumps or those hurdles that you got to jump over sometimes. Well, if I was very special to break that 20-year-old world record back in 1988, then I'm going to use that same special to endure not receiving my $27 million, starting all over, and building my reputation, building my credibility back up. So I took that fight, and I think I did a very good job in not feeling sorry for yourself, not being angry. Those are things that happen when you don't like what happened in your life. You get in a rut. You get stuck. And one thing I want to tell you is this, for sure. When that rut comes, or you feel yourself getting stuck, I will tell you this. Stay strong and keep it moving. It's the best thing you can do. No question about it. Now, even though I didn't receive my $27 million, I'm still very, very blessed. I'm still very, very happy with my success. I'm very, very happy with my life because since then, when I retired from the sport, I didn't have the big house anymore. I didn't have all the nice cars anymore. I didn't have all the gold, that stuff anymore. But I realized life was more important than that. Helping another life is even more important than that. Saving a life is more important than that. And that's where I caught my vision. That's what caught me to maintain what I said before, that positive attitude. So what was my goal now? My goal was to give back, keep me out of trouble, keep me focused, and rebuild my brand, rebuild my name, rebuild who I am. So I started an after-school program that I ran for 8 years in Akron, Ohio. We worked with over 1,000 kids. And our after-school program was very, very successful. And I also was doing the Speed Academy, working with athletes on their form, their technique, making them quicker, making them faster. And then I went ahead and after that, I said, let's go ahead and move to Columbus because Coach Tressel from Ohio State football wanted me to be the first ever speed coach for a Division I football team. So I did that for 3 years. Then I stayed in Columbus with my family, and we started the Butch Speed Academy, and we was doing a lot of foundation work up in Columbus then. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm also associate head coach for Ohio Dominican University, which I love coaching. I didn't think I was going to appreciate it as much as I am, but I love it, and it's a great thing to do, to get involved with, especially where I'm at now. So now, with my 10 life lessons here, give me one out of here that you guys think that we want to kind of elaborate on. Give me one you think you want me to talk about a little bit more. Read them real quick. We got about 10 minutes. No, we don't. We got 5 minutes. All right? Mr. Ivory. Number 8. Proper preparations prevents poor performances. When I first started running international track, like you said, I was all around the world running, I realized that if I don't prepare, it's a possibility I could be dead last on national television. And that was an issue for me at that time to prepare for every race. As a world record holder, that I had that record for 11 years. So from that 11-year point, everybody who I ran against me their best. Some people trained just to beat me that year. So I know that proper preparations prevent poor performances. So that's why I adopted that piece, because I knew that every day, if you prepare properly, you will get an A. Every day you prepare properly, you will do good on that exam. Every day you prepare properly, you will have a better opportunity to be a better athlete, a better student athlete. So proper preparation prevents poor performances. I'll call them the 5 Ps. Number 6, there are many ways to solving a problem. That's very interesting because there are many ways of solving a problem. One is called conflict resolution. Okay, and that's what I use for, there's many ways of solving a problem. Conflict resolution is a word that we will share with each other with my programs, that they can come to me and say, you know, hey, they about to get into a fight, third, fourth, fifth graders. You know, sometimes boys, they act like boys. They want to rough too much or fight too much or play too hard. So there's many ways of solving a problem besides fighting. There's many ways of solving a problem besides having a war, in other words. And one of the best ways of solving a problem is what? Is communication. The more you can communicate, the more you can talk, the better off things will be. The more you can tell a person how you feel, the better things will be. If a person did something to you and it hurt your feelings, sometimes you got to tell them that hurt my feelings. Now, if they look at you and say something no smart, then you know that's not a friend. You know that's not a person you need to be hanging with as much. But if you say something like that, what you said hurt me, and they respect that, then you know that person didn't really mean to do that. Number 7, life is like a book. You turn it one page at a time. Life is like a book. You turn it one page at a time. This is very interesting that you guys are picking these. Okay, what that means is this. Like today, I'm here. Okay, this is a page in my book right now. But tomorrow when I turn that page, it's not like I'm going to forget. Okay? Don't tell yourself you're going to forget. I'm not going to forget the false accusation that changed not only me, but my family, my friends. I lost a lot doing that false accusation. So how can I forget that happened? How can you forget something like that? You don't want to forget. You want to understand so you can grow. You want to understand it so you can grow. Now, I know we don't talk a lot of spiritually in school, but sometimes in life, when you don't understand it, you got to give it to one person. Okay? And we know who that one person is. That one person will be God. Whatever faith you believe in, sometimes you got to give it to that. Now, I have given a lot of things to that area in my life. Because if you win $27 million, you don't get $27 million. You got to give it to somebody so you can understand it. Nobody could understand it for me. Nobody could break it down for me. But when I gave it up, I was able to move on with life. Not be bitter, not be angry, get back to what I've been taught, get back to what I know works. That whatever happens in life, accept it to move on. If you have to move, accept that move to move on. You don't know what that move is about. That move could be very positive for you in your life. Because you're moving away from your friends, you think that this is not going to be a good transition in your life. And the blessing was for you there, and we hurt ourselves because we didn't have an open mind and an open heart about the transition in life. So you want to make sure that whatever that transition is, make it very positive. If you got to go to another school, make it very positive. If there's a separation, make it a very positive one for you. Find some type of positiveness in that separation to make it for you to work. You got to find something to make work when you're doing a transition in life. Some transitions are good, some transitions are bad. But at the end of the day, good or bad is what you make of it. You can get some positive out of negativity. It's like you can get some positive out of a positive situation. We got time for maybe one more, two more. Number 9. Success, dedication, commitment, sacrifice. Success equals dedication, commitment, and sacrifice. That was definitely a Butch Reynolds statement there. That's definitely me all the way. I realized in life early, when I had my role models, as like Jesse Owens, when it comes to racing, okay? Dedication was very big to him. Other role models, my uncle played professional football, okay? Sacrifice was very big to him. Another role model was my dad. Commitment, staying focused, understanding commitment. Butch, if you're gonna go out for track, do the best you can. If you're gonna go out for football, just do the best you can. Be committed, go to practice. We don't quit. So if you decide to go for it, you decide to do it to the fullest, because we don't quit here. So that's dedication, commitment, and sacrifice. If you can understand those three, you will have success. You will have success. It's hard to be dedicated, it's hard to sacrifice, and it's hard to be committed sometimes. Challenge yourself in those three, and you will see success. If you got to take another 100 foul shots, that's dedication. That's sacrifice, because something has to give for that. And that's commitment, because you're there. Well, you guys, thank you very much for having me here. Remember, do your best, never give up, and we'll see you next time.